Hi, Cole here. What you're looking at right now is an ALU, or arithmetic logic unit, that I built in Minecraft. This is the first rendition. I will show you the other two, which are much smaller, in a sec. But what I used to create this was actually the U of I chart of all of the different logic gates. And speaking of logic gates, these are all of the different types of logic gates as displayed in Minecraft. So essentially what an ALU does is it adds two numbers together in binary. In my case, there's also an option to increment or decrement, which just means add one or subtract one. And it does so using a collection of logic gates, which are referred to as either full adders or full subtractors. And you can see my full adders and full subtractors on screen here. So these are really big versions of them. This was, for simplicity's sake, I just wanted to conceptualize it at first. So I built all of the logic gates very big so that I could see everything going on. Now I'm showing you my two inputs. And then at the very end, you'll see something called a binary decoder, which is the reason why I chose to add the increment and decrement options, which weren't in the U of I document that I was looking at. Essentially, what the binary decoder does is, instead of having one input/output, we have 4 outputs and 2 inputs, and it decodes the inputs to pick between these 4 outputs. Then right here you can see my second version of the ALU. This is much smaller, but there are 2 8-bit adders and subtractors in there, which I then condensed down to only have one of each for this third and final rendition. Essentially what I did is I used the 8-bit adder for the 8-bit incrementation and the 8-bit subtractor for the decrementing. So right now, it's just showing it in action. You can see 1 plus 1 does in fact equal 2. Again, this is in binary. And then 1 plus 3 equals 4. Now I'm going to demonstrate that the overflow circuit works. What an overflow circuit does is, let's say you input 2 numbers and a number bigger than an 8-bit number comes out. It just ensures that you are aware of that and an error has occurred that this could not fully compute. Now I'm going to demonstrate subtraction, and there's a different kind of overflow error for subtraction. In this case, if you enter into the negative realm with your output, then it will again show an overflow error, which is different than it being too big. Instead, it's too small. But you're again going to see that the overflow error works. Now for incrementing, only one of the inputs is used for incrementing, and as you can see, 0 plus 1 does in fact equal 1, and then 3 plus 1 equals 4, and now finally we have the decrementing circuit. So 0 minus 1 would be negative 1, so the overflow immediately appeared. But 1 minus 1 equals 0, as demonstrated. And 3 minus 1 equals 2. Anyways, thank you for watching, and that is my 8-bit arithmetic logic unit in Minecraft.